Imagine, one day if someone comes to your home and hands over a notice which says your extra wealth is confiscated, and the order says it's as per some compulsory acquisition act passed by the government of India. What would you do? Sounds like a doomsday moment to you, right? Believe me, this could actually turn into a reality if Congress and Indy alliance are voted to power. As if the divisive caste-based census was not enough, in the election manifesto of the Congress party, its leader Rahul Gandhi has promised that if voted to power, his government will conduct a financial and institutional survey in a historic step to ascertain the redistribution of wealth. The INC leader announced this when he launched the Congress's Nyay Patra in Telangana on 7 April 2024. Interestingly, the venue, Tukkuguda, is the same location where previously Sonia Gandhi had launched the party's 6 guarantees before Telangana assembly elections last year. People on internet are already reacting to it and everyone seems to be in a disbelief. Ex-user Opinion Bakery wrote, Pakistan and China would struggle to come up with a better idea to destroy India. Another ex-user mocked Rahul Gandhi as he termed him Karl Marx with same level of obnoxiousness and a much lower IQ. An ex-user wrote he should start with some of his MPs and MLAs who have declared hundreds of crores of wealth in election affidavits. I know a few in my state. Charity begins at home and he doesn't even need to conduct a survey. An ex-user asked as to why only outrage is coming from the RW folks. Basically, entire ex-community seemed to be stumped over this decision as to how Rahul Gandhi and the Congress leaders will implement a step like this. So, first immediate question which arises is, what would be the impact on India and its economy? The whole idea of financial and institutional survey to ascertain and find ways of wealth redistribution is not always intended to control the wealth inequality. So basically, what first comes to mind? Will the super rich be taxed stringently? Which class in India would be subjected to it? Will it also apply to foreign companies which have invested in India or opened greenfield projects? The first thing which will probably be the result is a stock market crash and an eventual reduction of foreign investment in India. Such an activity or process would not only strain our economy but also the social balance of the country. Imagine if I am a financially well-off citizen, either because I am hardworking and as a result I have accumulated a sizable wealth, or I have inherited assets from my parents or their ancestors. Would the supposed Congress government take my assets or my extra wealth and give it to someone less fortunate or someone less hardworking than me? Such a draconian law would only force young working class like me to shift my bags and move out ASAP, because it would be basically a leftist government which considers it a sin to earn wealth. And what about the leader who has promised this redistribution? It is laughable that this entire plan comes from a leader who dabbles in stock, invests in commercial properties and is out on bail for defrauding old shareholder via failed plan to usurp National Herald, is talking of redistribution of others' wealth. If redistribution ever happens, the first individual to offer wealth should be Rahul Gandhi from his own portfolio. Next in the line should be Gandhi Vadra family and the Congress party, which has leaders like DK Shivkumar and Nakul Nath with immense wealth. I wonder, would they readily agree to redistribute their wealth and assets under the Congress government? We do not know what would happen if Indy alliance led by Congress party comes to power. We cannot predict the future, but we can assess the past. Author and writer Abhishek Banerjee posted on X, people have forgotten impact of Indira's hard left 1970s policy. See how sub-Saharan Africa raced away, leaving India behind. In this graph of World Bank data posted by Banerjee, you can see the visible difference in the lines of India and sub-Saharan Africa from year 1966 to 1977. Quoting Banerjee, India's per capita GDP as percentage of sub-Saharan Africa, 1966 55%, 1977 41%. And this is not all. Recently, the Pamphlet did a story on how the UPA government made India poorer. Let me reiterate those points. If we compare India's per capita GDP as percentage of developing countries, in 2004, at the end of Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, the value stood at 35%. From 2004 to 2014, the UPA ruled India with economist PM Manmohan Singh at the helm. However, India's per capita GDP as percentage of developing countries reduced from 35% to 30%. This one decade of Dr. Singh's tenure was marred with policy paralysis and a slew of corruption scams. The lack of infrastructure and unwillingness to transform Indian industry was evident, with investors and companies ignoring India. Congress's economic policies could be ascertained with the fact that their endorsed economists have put forward the climate degradation in favor of their arguments of India shouldn't look to become world's manufacturer. Coming back to India's per capita GDP as percentage of developing countries, after 2014, now we have the Modi government. From 30%, it goes up 37.8%, a phenomenal jump. In Modi government 2.0, now it's 42%. This despite the precious years lost due to global COVID-19 pandemic, where even the developed countries were struggling. In last 10 years, India has seen a transformation in infrastructure, attracting eyes from investors around the world, even at a time when most of the developed world is struggling. In last 10 years, we went from a fragile to fastest growing economy in the world. The Modi government's policies has led to creation of several assets. Imagine what would happen to everything if another government comes and implements extreme socialist policies. If this redistribution of wealth is implemented and India's economic policies move towards socialism, it will not only push Indian economy back by decades but could make it worse than even Venezuela.